Hi guys, Jack here, one of your security specialists at the SSL store. Thought I would take some time today to show you a phishing email and help you to realize phishing emails in the future when you come across them to protect you, your inbox, and your company. Without further delay, let's jump right into it. I'll go ahead and open up my email here. So it's happened to all of us. We've received those emails that just seemed funny, whether it was an appeal from a foreign country, some prince in a third world country trying to get us to help them with something, to send them money, to go to Walmart and buy a bunch of things, or to download something. But almost all companies have been attacked in some way when it comes to phishing emails, or at least targeted. The trick is not becoming a victim of them. So we here at the SSL store last week actually received a major targeted attack as far as phishing emails go, where almost every person in our company received a similar, if not the same email from supposedly one of our employees. And so I'm going to show that email to you today. Go ahead and open it up now. As you can see, Ryan Langford, one of our best and brightest over here, was spoofed when it came to sending out this phishing email. Let's take a look at it. So again, from Ryan Langford with the tagline, the subject line, "They came, they raced, they won." That's a great subject line, especially for in-office use. I don't know how many times this was used externally, but internally, it's a great line. I feel like I would open up that subject, no matter who it was from, and just to see what it's about. Not to mention adding in that RE at the beginning, it does help their cause, right? So that said, reading through the email, seeing it's from Ryan, I figure it's probably something support related. As an account manager, I would definitely receive emails from him all the time. "Hello, please find attached remittance advice for our recent payment to you. If you have questions on this, please contact Ryan Langford, the SSL store, at the SSL store for more information. Thank you for your business. We appreciate it very much. Ryan Langford at the SSLstore.com. So just a quick glance at this email, not actually reading all the way through it, I probably would think it was a normal email, but luckily I've been trained to note when something's off. So I'm going to go through some things to help you notice those things as well. Specifically, we have a cheat sheet that we're putting out, completely free. Download it in the description below. You can download it and follow along with us. I'm actually going to put one up on the screen now. And basically just taking these 9 questions as you see here and following the answers, you can quickly realize if and when you're being targeted for a phishing attack and whether or not you should download, click, or otherwise follow what it's asking you to do. So let's get started. Question number 1, is the email from someone you work with? Hey, look at that. Yes. Right here, Ryan Langford sits few seats down from me here at the office, so I could literally throw something at him. Pretty good shot, I'd be able to hit him. So yes, based on that answer, as you can see here, question 2 is where we need to go next. Is the email signed? We here at the SSL store are big fans of SMIME certificates, that's email signing certificates, and so all of our employees should be using them when sending emails. So especially in our office stuff, there should be no reason that this email isn't signed. But as you can see, there's nothing in here that suggests that it's signed, and in fact, it isn't. It would be right here underneath the email addresses to say this has been signed by Ryan Langford, but it hasn't been. So within 2 questions, we've already decided that this email fails the phishing test. It is clearly phishing for something, and we haven't even read it yet as far as the cheat sheet goes. But just in case you get emails like this from non-internal employees, or maybe your company isn't using SMIME yet, we can fix that. call us for more information. Let's go through the rest of the questions just to make sure that you're able to recognize them going forward. Number 3, do you recognize the sender? Again, I recognize Ryan Langford, but what if this email was sent externally to our company employees outside of the US office, or maybe clients or resellers of ours? Who knows if they would have noted it. So in theory, they might be able to recognize it. Based on that, yes, we go to question 4, making it easy as that's the next question. Does the sender match the address? Here we go. The sender, Ryan Langford, is not nelson.mera@ieps.gov.ec. I'm not sure who those people are. They may be a client of ours. I haven't searched them, but they're definitely not Ryan Langford. If he was going to send me an email, especially with something that suggested he was from the SSL store, he'd probably send it from an email address that at least said thesslstore.com, whether the opening would match his name or not. But as you can see here, it doesn't match, and again, it's a fail. Had we made it to question 4, this cheat sheet would have told us not to go any further and possibly to reach out to our IT team to let them know it's happening, and maybe to the rest of the team to make sure that nobody opens the email accordingly. That said, let's move on to question 5. Does the email pass the smell test? Style, tone, signature. So this overall just should match the style of a real email, and especially if it's somebody you know, match how they might send you an email. So let's go line by line here. The subject line, inner office, it's kind of funny. It's trying to get us to open it, whether it was from Ryan or somebody else. It's an okay subject line. Here, hello, please find. I will say that usually, at least for myself and many of my colleagues, we usually say hello, and then we have a line, space, a line break, so that we separate it before we start the body of the email. So obviously that's a little awkward, but maybe he was in a hurry when he wrote it. But then there's no period here. Definitely should be a period there grammar-wise. Again, maybe he's in a hurry. But then we take a step down and we start to notice a few more issues. The SSL store is one word. We as a company are very adamant that all the time when we say SSL, SSL should be capitalized. No matter what, no matter when, that's how it should be. Additionally, the should have a space after it. SSL should have a space after it. And again, down here, clearly this is a rip from our website address, as you would see in an email address from us. So there's issues there, and I would automatically recognize smell test wise that this is off. As a final note, you will note down here, for anybody who doesn't speak Spanish, I had this translated. Note I don't speak Spanish, Google does for me. It basically says that this email has been scanned by Mail Scanner to make sure that there are no viruses. Anybody can type that at the bottom of an email. There's no link, there's no suggestion as to what Mail Scanner is, but you could easily be tricked by it if you don't recognize that anybody can write anything in the footer of their email. So therefore that quote unquote Mail Scanner is worthless here. So overall, it doesn't pass the smell test. There are numerous issues with it, so it's a fail. Anytime that you see the fail on this cheat sheet, you can stop there. But just for the purpose of this video, we're going to keep going. Question number 6, is the email requesting something? This one's very good at not blatantly requesting something, right? It doesn't ask us to click anything or go anywhere or to buy anything. It just says, hey, there's something attached. And so it makes us want to open that attachment. It doesn't ask us to open that attachment. It asks us to find it. Hey, it's right there, found. No question, found it. I don't have to click it to find it. But I know that if I take the time to find a document and attach it to an email, I want you to open it. That's pretty much the whole reason I'm sending you an email if there's attachment, is so that you open the attachment. So obviously that's what they want you to do when they're phishing you. So yes, they are technically requesting me to open that attachment. So if we check here on the cheat sheet, it doesn't mean it's a fail. Numerous times, if I was sending you an email, I'm probably going to ask you to do something. So you're going to want to call and confirm if you weren't expecting this. Luckily, Ryan's right down the aisle from me, so I can holler over at him and say, hey, Ryan, what's this all about? Should I open the document? Luckily, he was there and told me not to. More on the document and attachment later. Number 7, does the email look official? It's an inner office email, so this could be official enough. Although at the same time, most of the time, our signatures at least don't have the SSL store as a single word, as well as they usually have some kind of graphic. Even our inter office communication usually has at least some kind of graphic down here to go with our logo. So that's obviously an issue. And as it doesn't look official, it's a fail. If it kind of looks official, it's on the neutral side, you could say yes, at which point the guide is just going to take you to question 8. Google the sender and organization. Are they legitimate? Let's say that you were not part of the SSL store and you received this email. You would have 2 things to look up. The SSL store, if you know them, great, move on. But you always want to make sure to check all of the senders. So I could look up ieps.gov.ec and look them up to see if they are a legitimate company. But even if they're a legitimate company, the second part of that question is this email legitimate? Would that company be sending you this email talking about whatever it's talking about? Not only is the company legitimate, because emails can be spoofed, just like this one probably was. Specifically, Ryan Langford's name was spoofed, even though they didn't get the email address itself. So we can't just take it on the legitimacy of the company itself. We also have to take it on the legitimacy of that company sending this specific email. So again, it's not legitimate that this company would be sending me this email. It's definitely up for question whether or not Ryan would be sending it to me. So it'd probably be a fail. But even if we said yes, it still directs us to question 9. Is this email requesting you to take an action? Very similar to question 6. Yes, it's asking us, even though not blatantly, to download the file. So we actually, since everybody got this, we wanted to see what it was all about. So our IT team securely took this email and opened and downloaded that file on a separate computer, separate from the network, to see what it was. And it basically opened up a doc file, just as it says right here, a .doc file, like any other Word doc. Downloaded it and opened it. And there wasn't much on there, but it did have the highlighted editing is disabled. If you would like to enable it, click here. You click that, and all of a sudden, malware was on the computer. Of course, we cleaned the computer, got the malware taken off. It was separate from our network, but it goes to show that you can't trust a file like this to not be executable. It used to be that as long as you didn't download an executable file, you're in the clear. But we know today that hackers are resourceful and they can use any kind of file, a doc, a PDF, an Excel file. There are any number of ways to get malware on your site, on your computer, on your network, and take down your business or otherwise infect it. So that said, would you have downloaded this if you received the email? Would you have quickly grabbed that attachment or clicked a link if you saw this email? If so, go ahead and download this guide to make sure that you can secure your company, your inbox, and your coworkers' inboxes. If you wouldn't have, but you think your coworkers might have, make sure to download it and share it as well. We have also linked to our email security best practices ebook. Also free to download. Go ahead and click the link here. And that said, smash that like button, click subscribe, and come back for more security videos in the future. Thanks, and have a great day. Hello everyone, Jack here from the SSL Store, a security specialist here to talk to you about phishing emails. Specifically, we here at the SSL Store were targeted by some hacker trying to get malware on our sites, on our computers via a phishing email. So I thought I would make a video to show you how to recognize these emails just like we did, to make sure that while being targeted, you don't become the victim. Secure your inboxes, secure your business. It's time for SSL Security Academy. Let's get started. Go ahead and open up my Outlook here and basically receive this email with the subject line, they came, they raced, they won. Pretty interesting. I want to open it and see what it's all about. So this email was sent from, according to the line here, Ryan Langford, who's actually an employee here. He sits just a few desks down from me, and he sends me emails all the time. So I would open this up and think nothing of it, right? Wrong. There's definitely some issues. Quick read over it. Hello, please find attached remittance advice for our recent payment to you. If you have questions on this, please contact Ryan Langford, the SSL Store, at the SSL Store for more information. Thank you for your business. We appreciate it very much. Ryan Langford, the SSL Store, his email and everything. So at first glance, this could have caused some major issues. It's not a horrible looking email, and outside of nitpicking, probably could pass most people when they're doing emails, and probably would have fallen prey to this phishing attack. So whether you know why this is a phishing attack or not, I wanted to take some time to point out all the things that make this obvious to me as a security specialist that it's phishing, and so that you can protect yourself and your company. So to help me with this, we've actually got a cheat sheet available, and so I wanted to pull that up. There it is, to show you and walk through it so that you can easily recognize phishing emails going forward. You can also download this and follow along. It's right there in the description below. But let's get started. Question number 1. Is this email from someone you work with? Yes, as I said before, Ryan Langford sits a few desks down. I can throw things at him, and chances are I'm going to hit him, even though I'm a pretty bad shot. But yeah, he works with me. He's close. So based on that answer, if you look at the guide, it suggests to go to question 2 if yes. So let's go to question 2. Is the email signed? We here at the SSL Store are big fans of SMIME certificates. We have email signing certificates for everyone in the company, and so every time we receive an email from each other, we should be able to see that little marker right up here in the email description information box that it's signed. There should be some indicator, but as you can see, there isn't one. So right there, within 2 questions, a couple seconds, we quickly realize that this is fail as far as an email goes. It is clearly phishing. So that said, it's a fail. We should pass it on to our IT administrators, tell them about it, make sure that they can tell the rest of the company about it so that nobody falls for it, and we only get the targeting, not the victimization. But let's say that you don't work with Ryan, or maybe you don't use SMIME certificates in your company. Would you have fallen for it? Maybe. So let's continue down the line and answer the other questions just to make sure we could recognize this as a phishing email. Question number 3, do you recognize the sender? Again, I recognize Ryan, but let's say I was an external person outside the company, maybe a client, maybe cold outreach or something like that, and Ryan's trying to send me an email for some reason. Would I have fallen for it? I don't know. Let's say I do recognize him, and therefore we're going to go down to question number 4. Does the sender match the address? Here is a glaring mistake on the sender's side, the phishing hacker's side. Right here, the email address, nelson.mera@ieps.gov.ec. I'm guessing they're in Ecuador. Even though Ryan's sitting down the hall from me in the US, why I doubt he's over here in Ecuador sending me emails. And if he did send me emails, he'd probably be sending it to me from the SSL Store, or as it says down here, Ryan Langford at theSSLstore.com, right? So right there, it's another fail. Just in case somehow it passed there or you didn't notice that, let's move on to question 5. Does the email pass the smell test? Like a good cup of coffee in the morning, what's it smell like? Or more specifically, how's the style, the tone, the signature of this email? Overall, it's not a bad email. It seems kind of rushed, so you might overlook some minor things, but right here, most of the time, I know at least I do, I'll take and put a line break before the greeting and the body of the email. Hello, Jack, space, line break, please find. That's how I would have done it. That's how most of the people here in the US and our office would have done it. So that's a little awkward, but again, maybe it was rushed. But then you got a missing period over here, problematic, but again, rush, maybe. And then we get down to the SSL store at the SSL store. Never mind that the SSL store here has no spaces. SSL should be capitalized. The SN store should be capitalized. We have branding rules here for a reason, and this is one of them. This would have been an issue. Again, the SSL store is horribly noted down here, just like our website, not in a traditional regular format. As a little cherry on top, down here, why would Ryan in the English speaking country of the US send me, another English speaker, something with something in Spanish, like it says down here? For those who don't speak Spanish, like me, and may have to Google this, it says that this email was scanned by Mail Scanner to make sure that there are no viruses in it. Well, that was obviously just some random footer because anybody can type anything into the footer of an email. So you can't always trust things like that. That said, let's move on. Since this was clearly a fail on question 5 for the smell test, we're going to keep going with question number 6. Is the email requesting something? It's not blatantly requesting something, but something's attached. Do you attach things to emails with the hopes that nobody opens them? No. If you took the time to find the document, possibly write the document, and attach it to an email, that's the whole reason for the email, is for somebody to open that document. And obviously, that's what they want us to do in this phishing email. The hacker wants you to open that document. So yes, they want us to do something. So what am I going to do? Based on this guide, I'm going to call and confirm. I'm going to call Ryan Langford up and say, what's this all about? Should I open this if I wasn't already expecting it? Moving on to number 7, does the email look official? It's an inter-office email, so it might be a little off, but realistically, again, this is an issue for me with the spaces. This should be spaces. Usually there's a logo attached, so it's a little off. But even if we said yes, it would still push us to question 8. Google the sender. Obviously, I know Ryan Langford, but if you didn't, you could look him up, the SSL store up, ieps.gov.ec up, see what they're all about, and see if they're a legitimate company. If you looked up the SSL store, we're legitimate. We sell things. You probably do business with us. If you looked up ieps.gov.ec, you probably would find them to be an okay company. Whether or not they should be doing business with you, that's another section of legitimacy. Would that company, whether they are legitimate as a company, send you this email? A separate section of that legitimacy question, so don't skip on that. But again, if you decided to fail, great. Delete it, pass it to your IT team, whatever you do. But let's say you said, yes, this is a legitimate company. There is legitimacy in them emailing. We're still going to go to question number 9. And again, is this email requesting you to take action? So important that it basically repeats question 6 because it's that important. It's asking you, even though not blatantly, to download that data file. Now, I'll let you know, we actually had our IT team take this email and go ahead and download that in a secure way so that they could check what it was all about. They open it, it's a Word doc, just like it says, .doc, but when you enable editing on this read-only file, malware is infected on the computer. Obviously, we cleaned it up, separated it from our network, made sure it didn't cause any other issues, but the .doc file ended up being just as executable as an executable file. It used to be in the past, if it was executable, be questionable. But now, .doc, .pdf, .excel, all of them can be used by hackers. They're very resourceful. Look out, protect yourself, protect your inbox, protect your company. So we've gone through the cheat sheet, and clearly this email failed numerous times. And even if it didn't fail, we would have called to make sure that everything was kosher before we opened it. But if you feel like you would have opened this email and downloaded that file, if you think your coworkers or employees or even your bosses would have downloaded that file had they received this email, you should go ahead and download the free guideline as you see here in the description below. Additionally, we've gone ahead and linked to our email security ebook, also free. Go ahead and download that. It's a great read at about 30 pages. It's pretty good at getting directly to what you need to know to secure yourself, including all the ins and outs of S/MIME email security signing certificates. Make sure that you get them. Make sure your entire company is using them. Go ahead and smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, and come back here for more security videos in the future. We'll look forward to seeing you then. Have a great day.